Hello Aries, welcome back to Mind, Body and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of July, or pretty much a month from now when you're seeing this reading. I hope you're well, Aries. This is a general reading for Aries Sun, Moon and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's not your reading. Okay, so you have the Queen of Pentacles as your current energy. Now let's see what's your challenge. What's challenging this month for my dear Aries? The Knight of Wands as your challenge. What's the advice? That was the Star is your advice. Okay. And what is the future energy? The Ten of Swords. Don't freak out about this. Ten of Swords is actually a really good energy. Two of Pentacles as the theme of your reading. Balance. Balancing things out and not attaching to a certain way of doing things. This is like flexibility, really. Okay, I'm going to pull out the clarifiers quick before I'm even going into this conversation. So you have the Son of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles as your current energy. You have the Lovers with the Knight of Wands as your challenge. You have the Three of Wands with the Star as your advice. Look at this, this is beautiful. And why is the Ten of Swords here? The future energy. Hell yeah, Father of Wands. Three of Swords. You have the Three of Swords with the Two of Pentacles as your current energy. So Aries, first of all, there's something interesting happening in your sign, right? Like Mars is in Aries and it's going to be in Aries for the next 6 months, which is a very long time. It's going to go retrograde in there. It's home in Aries. So you may feel like on a strong urge to express yourself and to do things the way you want them. And also maybe feel anger with the things and frustration with the things that don't work out your way. But Chiron is also in Aries and it's going to be there for a very long time. And Chiron is the wounded warrior, the wounded healer. And with Mars being in there too, that's a very interesting dynamics. And I'm not surprised that the Three of Swords comes out in this, the mix of all this, because it's obviously having to do with some type of relationships and love and heartbreak from the past that you are healing still. Even if it's been a long time ago. You may be in a happy relationship now, or you may be alone and single, being single for a while. Or you may be just heartbroken from whatever it is that happened. The point is that the Three of Swords is an energy of processing, like how do these lower emotions of coming from a wounded ego, coming from childhood pain and trauma that hasn't been integrated, or simply just conditioning. You know, we're all being socialized and conditioned. And we had to cut off and reject parts of ourselves because that's part of the socializing process. We all come into the world with this deep feeling of like something is wrong with us and we are somehow inadequate. And we all form a certain kind of wound in one direction or another that keeps being triggered. And then if you had a major heartbreak, that could have left deep scars. Now, seeing how this affected your life story, your perception of self, your way of dealing with certain things, relationships, life stuff, work, is being processed and understood. With the Two of Pentacles here, I also feel like there's a lot of emotions going on in the background, and you're not exactly willing to feel them. Maybe you keep yourself busy one way or another. But the more important part here is really the message with this is that do not get attached of the way things should look like or are supposed to look like. Maybe you're biased. Maybe you're projecting a pain from the past in your current situation. Maybe you're just not seeing things clearly. Maybe you are still processing something. Look at these waves here. They're very intense. So you are required to bring forward flexibility or to learn this type of flexibility. This is not the same situation. This is not the same energy. And you've been holding for certain pain for a very long time. But luckily you have the Ten of Swords here, which is finally letting go of that story, which is great. And let's walk through this. Let's talk through this. So you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Son of Swords as the current energy. Yeah, you may feel like you're grounded. You may feel like, you know, you're able to see things at real value, to understand what's good for you and what's not in a very practical sense. And you're also able to communicate it. Hopefully in a more gentle fashion and manner, not in a forceful way. The Son of Swords can be a bit forceful in communication, more like teenagers that just wants to impress or just wants to impose or just wants to, like, you know, make a statement that's coming from very impulsive and unknowledgeable place. Not necessarily from the wrong place, but yeah, a bit over enthusiastic. So it's important with the Queen of Pentacles here to keep the nurturing quality of your communication, whether it's even when you stand up for yourself to against the force that it's suppressing in any way. You can still do so from a place of love and understanding and connection, rather than from just contempt and you know, separation. Not an easy thing to do, for sure, and definitely not when Mars is home in Aries. And not when our wounds come up in this very, very strong way with this Chiron in Aries as well. And this combination of the Mars in Aries seems to give this urgency of solving the situation. We get this very angry inner child or teenager within you that just wants to say it all, destroy it all, and so on. So this Queen of Pentacles energy that you find yourself in is very, very useful. Use it. Make sure that you're grounded. Make sure that you're in your body. Make sure that you have the right routines that fit you, that keep you grounded, that nourish you and serve you well. And yes, communication is good. It's important to speak your truth, but it may keep this beautiful, gentle quality. Okay, so what is challenging though is to be enthusiastic, I guess, to allow this like growth and transformation that happens through experience and through love experience, you know, letting love move you, letting love find the deeper place within your psyche and within your heart, allowing yourself to feel it and to operate from there without the fear that this is going to bring more pain, because the pain was already there. You're just channeling it out, you know. And the love is the one that actually transforms the pain. The love is the one that when you accept that this had happened, when you accept that the story that you've internalized is not real, there is nothing wrong with you, that you are lovable, that you are unique and beautiful, and you know, you are capable of so much love, and you have so many gifts to give and to offer into the world. When we're really aware of that, then those stories don't make any more sense anymore. We can realize that. But it's challenging right now. It's challenging to embrace this. It's challenging to really allow yourself to enthusiastically and happily explore that. Again, this is also like a knight, right? Just like the sword. So there's an adolescent version of this is, as well. Maybe that tendency to be a little bit unreliable, to just care about fun, to not really sit in one place for too long, and to be like, hey, I want to do this, I want to have the adventure, I want to have the experience. But you're not really allowing yourself to have the experience. You're just distracting yourself through the experience. If that makes any sense to you. So if you feel this tendency, remember, this is your challenge. Your challenge is to be with your experience, not escape through experience, okay? And it's important for you to feel and operate from your heart and from a place of love. Whether this has to do with an actual partner, or with a former partner, or with work relationships, or with family. Make sure that you're driven from this place of love, and you can allow yourself to connect to that. And that takes practice, but you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the gentleness, you can nourish right now. Allow yourself to be nourished and to nourish yourself. I mean, it's I know it sounds like a weird duality, nourished by yourself or nourish yourself, but you can see this as, where am I operating from? Sometimes I'm operating from the very angry inner child, or from this very wound that we carry. But sometimes we can step out of the wound and step into this nourishing quality. And I can, whenever I'm in this pain energy, I can allow myself to understand that I'm nourished. I can feel the nourishment, that at the same time I'm sending as the parent, or we take turns or whatever. There are practices around this, inner child work, parts work, constellations. I mean, there's so many ways to work with this. And it's important what's being constellated right now. Be present, even if it's an old pain, even if it's your first love, you're still somehow feeling hurt by that, or you had to suppress a part of yourself. Let's say a joyful part that likes to have fun in love, and maybe you internalize that you can't show your emotions, or more childish self, or things like that. Okay, the star and the 3 of Wands as your advice. It's most definitely a healing time for you. It's most definitely a healing time for you. Like the Chiron is the wounded healer, but he's a healer whatsoever. And you can allow yourself to be present with this wound, and to be honest with yourself, and to be honest with others, and to really clarify the confusion that that you internalize, that somehow what's not right with you, and how to cover up for that, how to compensate for that. So the star coming here as your advice, it's really emphasizing that this is happening for a reason, that it is a great opportunity for yourself to heal, to do so intentionally, to create a safe space for yourself based on your heartfelt decisions and understanding of your own spiritual journey, and creating this space. You see, like this wonderful, beautiful galaxy, like rainbow colors, is held within the safety of this space created by these 3 wands here. And this is your healing space. You can do so very intentionally. Be like, give yourself time, give yourself whatever is nourishing for you right now. You can tell from the Queen of Pentacles energy what is it that you really need. Maybe you need solitude. Maybe you need to be surrounded by a network of friends that really get you. Or maybe you need therapy. Or maybe you need, I don't know, a breath work and rebirthing and all that. Maybe you need meditation. You know what you need. Maybe you need a retreat. Maybe you need a very, like, I don't know, nourishing, yoga-based something. Maybe you need to just be in nature by yourself and whatever. You know what you need, and you can, and are being encouraged to create that safe space for yourself to process this and to find your your balance and to find that place within yourself that can be flexible to change the perspective that's coming through. Because whatever you thought of yourself that is not good enough, it's finally letting go. And whatever you created in terms of persona, character within yourself to compensate for that, or to let you forget that, to not feel the imbalance inside, to not feel the pain, to not feel the unworthiness that you've internalized, that persona is now being retired and it needs to let go. And you're being called forward from the deeper part of yourself. This Father of Wands is can easily be Aries energy, right? It's fire. It's the top of the suit. You're coming you're coming forth from a much deeper, much wiser, much more connected place within yourself. That you get this like clarity. And this comes in the form of deep insight, and you're able to really let go, to surrender, to allow this story to be finished in your mind and not keep going like a broken record. So this is a great month for you, Aries. It really is. Don't freak out for a moment for what you see in here. This is a very, very needed healing journey. I'm going to pull out oracle message for you. I like how this oracle creates this beautiful love story with the universe, with the divine. Seeing the divine as the beloved that we've been always dreaming of, that would save us or meet our needs or anything else. Divine discontent. Yeah, you are divinely guided to go through these processing of the pain and seeing like how you've been tying yourself down, what's been how in the light of that suffering that I think it was in the past. I don't think this is something going on right now, to be honest, but it may be recent or it may be long in the past. You need to feel it. You need to really allow yourself to feel it in order to get to the bottom of this. You can't heal what you don't feel. So divine discontent is in order. I'm gonna read number 12. So the poem from Rumi says, winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. Rumi. There is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety, that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. Over time, that longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness, needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, pounding fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. Where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet I am here still waiting. I can't stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning, so much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine. Or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods, such as your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have the meager meal wrested from our hands so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then something will be done by the heaven. So make your relationship sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it, bear witness to it. Do not chastise. Instead, be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed, as though only your sadness and plight could steer the heart of the divine beloved into the descent of succor and grace, saving you from a life far too bland for your exquisite Epicurean palate. Just don't misinterpret the pain and think that something is really wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt, understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this: you are just waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart, you are realizing a truth. A part of you, deeper, wider, vaster, and more instinctive, truthful, and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. This is right. This is sensible. This is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart that says there is something more than this inadequacy, this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones. This must end now. And so it shall be. The discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into greatest connection with divinity. Do not resist this. Witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petal. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and it is now found to be plated and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you with this wafting scent, tempting you to follow me towards something so of much more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it is anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forest for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench. Then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is left behind, once and for all, grabbing like hungry school children for the divine bread with sweet fresh scent filling the air. That was long. It does make a lot of sense here, and it does sound scary a little bit, but I don't think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be as painful as it sounds. Just cry the tears aloud, this part of you that had been so convinced and so devoted to the idea that somehow you're inadequate. Surrender and let go of, and you'll discover that space within of healing and much deeper wisdom and connection and everything else. Okay, I'm gonna read the sacred honoring ritual. If you feel the call to do it, feel free to do so. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Say the following aloud. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, guide me now. I acknowledge the gratitude in my heart, genuine and fierce. Oh wait, I need to give you actual space to do it. I'll read it again. So, Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, guide me now. I acknowledge the gratitude in my heart, genuine and fierce. And I acknowledge the hunger for the divine unfolding in my belly, the urging forward towards some unknown, indescribable sacred satiety. Guide me to the holy table where the true feast awaits. I am no longer satisfied by the stale crumbs of the remnants of another's feast. I want to feast with the Holy One, the Great One, to know directly and for myself that I am divine. With your mercy, grace, and wisdom, guide me there, dearest brother of my soul. I cast my soul into your care and follow my nose. I follow my nose towards the sweetest scent of the holy feast. Rest and stand up and dance your prayer. Just be with your body and how it wants to be, to rest or move now. Whatever you choose, stay with your breath and with what feels truthful. Say aloud, I release that which is not worthy of my soul to feast upon. I do not decide this for myself from a place of distrust of judgment. I surrender my attachment and I trust in the sacred workings of life to present me what is needed. I surrender in sacred trust, yes. May my life be governed by love for the greatest good and in holy service to love now, so be it. You have finished your honoring ritual. All right, I personally don't resonate so well with all that kitchen type of metaphors, but I hope it makes sense to you. All right, well, good luck with all this. It sounds intense, it feels intense, but I think it's really a major transformation, and that it sets you free somehow to a degree that maybe you haven't felt before. All right, Aries, good luck with all this again. If you resonated with this reading, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you here next month. May our practice benefit all beings.